Hi everyone! My tripod seems to have just morphed into some different shape and it will not sit where I usually put it, so I'm a little uncomfortable and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be a fan of this angle. Soz. Today I'm going to be finally getting around to my October wrap up, which was a bigger success than I anticipated because obviously I had New York and I just spent the entirety of the month trying to read one certain book, and yeah, it was a mess, but I did manage to get through 6 books, so whoop whoop. The first book I finished reading in October was the audiobook of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, read by Stephen Fry because he is amazing, oh my god, and obviously was a 5-star read. Always gonna be a 5-star, let's be real. I need to say nothing more about Harry fucking Potter. If you don't know, wow. Moving on. The next book I picked up, I anticipated being a super quick read, but it took me longer than I would have liked. And that was Truth About Lies by Tracy Darnton. This is an ARC copy, so the cover is completely different. This cover is actually darker than the actual cover. Neither really represent the book, I would say. It's a sort of mystery, kinda not. I gave it 3 stars. I can't really remember much. I know our main character has like a really freaking good like eidetic memory. She can recall like everything, but the whole mysterious aspect of it just wasn't very mysterious and it was just disappointing. I feel like it should have been more thrillerish, but it wasn't, and that's why I only got 3 stars. And as I say, like, it was super short, but I feel like I just took forever to get through it because I wasn't excited. I was just like, okay, so not great. I mean, I would recommend it if you're not really into thrillery type books. I actually ended up listening to another audiobook in October, and it wasn't the next Harry Potter. I'm currently still listening to that. But I listened to The Underdogs by Marcus Zusak. This was 2 stars for me. I listened to this because I ended up DNFing Bridge of Clay, Marcus Zusak's new book. I thought it was dreadful. And unfortunately, The Underdogs is written in a very similar way. It is written so differently to The Book Thief. So I'm quite disappointed. I do have I Am the Messenger on my bookshelves, but I believe that is quite similar to The Book Thief. Like, people seem to really enjoy that one, and that's his like second most well-known book. I will not be continuing like the Wolf Brothers series thing. The narrator really annoyed me. Like, one of the voices he used for one of the characters just went through my head, but it's like 3 hours long, so I just persevered on like 3 times speed and got through it. I think what annoyed me the most, and I don't know why I gave it 2 stars because all I remember is something about a dentist, but anyway, the book follows 2 brothers, and obviously I just DNF'd Bridge of Clay, which follows like 5 brothers. They all felt the same. Like, if you told me that whatever the fucking names were of the 2 brothers in this book, if you had like, if you didn't tell me you had like changed the book, I wouldn't know, because the way Bridge of Clay is written, I would not be surprised that it just started up randomly like talking about loads of crap. But his characters just felt the same. Like, I'm genuinely concerned that there's 2 Marcus Zusaks going around, and Book Thief Zusak is just like, I don't give a fuck that people are getting me confused or something, because like, you know, there's writing different and writing different genres, and then there's just like, are you okay? I can't explain it. It just, like, when I see people reviewing Bridge of Clay and they're like, oh, it's the writing we know and love, and I'm like, sorry? Like, I read The Book Thief when I was not a reader anymore, like my in-between phase where I was not reading. Like, I used to read all the time, then I stopped, and then I hadn't started reading like I do now. So like, I was not a reader when I read The Book Thief. There is no freaking way if I had picked up Bridge of Clay back then I'd have been able to get through it when I can't get through it now. So how people are telling me it's the same, it's not. It's so bad. I'm so annoyed. Can you tell? I am really upset that Bridge of Clay was such a disappointment. It was released on my birthday in the UK and I was like, oh my god, I can go and buy it as a present to me. I am so freaking glad I had a NetGalley arc because I would have been hella mad if I had spent money on that shit. Anyway, it turns out that The Underdogs is just as fucking bad. Actually, at least it was a cohesive story that followed a contingent like line and chronological, and I can't English anymore because I am so angry. So we're just gonna leave it there. Marcus Zusak, The Book Thief is awesome. I will give I Am the Messenger a try, but I am really fucking worried about that one. So yeah. I finished A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I was supposed to read this in September so I could watch Spencer's live show, but I didn't. So I got through this in October and it was really good. I gave it, what, 4 stars? Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. I gave it higher. Who is messaging me? How rude. I gave this 4 stars, which is a step up from the 3 stars that I gave A Darker Shade of Magic, both the first time I read it and during my reread. I really like this. We follow like a sort of magical tournament. It is very reminiscent of a Goblet of Fire. A Goblet of Fire? Wow, Emma. Goblet of Fire in the way that like the action is very like late on. You're like, come on, like can we get to the tournament? This took for fucking ever. Like, I'm not even joking you, like, this whole book, the back is like, there's a magical tournament, and it's like here that the magical tournament starts. I'm like, what the fuck? But it was still really good. I do not suffer second book syndrome. For me, book 2 in series is almost always the best, so... And while we're talking about V.E. Schwab and Dark Shade of Magic, no, A Conjuring of Light is not in this wrap-up. If any of you watched Spencer's A Dark Shade read-alongs, live shows and stuff, then you know I was a co-host for the 3rd one, and I showed up jet-lagged as fuck, delusional because I was exhausted, having not finished the book, and I still haven't because I was trying to like rush my way through it towards like as the live show loomed closer, and now I'm just like, I don't even know where I am because I was skim reading. I had the audiobook on like 5,000 times speed, so I'm just like, I need a moment. I need to step away from that book. Finally, I have picked up The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I haven't given this a rating because I'm so confused. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I get it, this pilot has crashed and then this tiny person appears and he's like telling a story, and then this little dude like goes along all these other planets, but like what's the point? I don't get it. I don't know. It wasn't bad, but it was not this like magical amazing little book that I expected, so I'm like disappointed in it. I just don't know what to rate it, so I'm not rating it anything because I just don't know. I don't know if it's because I read it in like such a weird headspace when I was still jet lagged and I'm just like but yeah, this is weird. I'm still gonna try and read it in French one day when I actually buy a French copy and get my ass back in gear and start learning French again, but... And my final read in October was a fucking shocker. So I didn't properly get to participate in Witchathon or Spookathon or any Halloweenish things, but obviously I knew I wanted to read something spooky. This book, when I was a bookseller, it was like an ongoing sort of joke about this book because we were like, this is fucking creepy, who the fuck would write that, why would anyone want to read it, like avoid it. And then a few months ago I saw it in a charity shop and I was like, you know what, it's £1, it's here, I'm just gonna buy it. Back when I made rash decisions. I read this book in a day. Like, I picked it up, started reading, was like, oh my god, this is amazing, had to go and do shit, and then I got home and I was like, I need to finish this, and I stayed up until I finished it. And I'm like, I'm so confused because I shouldn't like this book. This book should not have been as good as it is. It was a 4-star read. I think just because I couldn't bring myself to say like, yeah, this is 5 stars. But anyway, I actually read Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell, which is about creepy fucking dolls. The only thing that could have made this scarier to me are clowns and underwater. And it's set on a cliffside, so like, but I fully expected this to be like a 3-star at most, like okay, but like creepy dolls. This is so good. Like, it should not have been a 4-star book. It should not be a book that I am like, wow, this was so gripping, and like, I want to go and buy the sequel. There's like, well, it's like a companion novel. I think it's actually a prequel, but anyway, I should not be wanting to go out of my way to buy a creepy doll book. But this book, it had the right amount of like, I was gonna say anxiety, but like, it does. Like, it's scary, but it's not like I cannot sleep. Like, I was a little bit worried about going to bed, but I am mind blown. Sometimes rash book buying is a good thing, but I now want all of the Red Eye series. There's one coming out that I have a NetGalley arc of, which I'm quite excited about. But just wow, like wow. I am just so amazed at how much I enjoyed this. Clearly my aversion to horror has been a mistake. I obviously need to read more books like this, because as I say, I read this in one go basically. Like, it wasn't quite one sitting, but I read it in one day. Like, lads. So yeah, if you want a kind of creepy ass book that might scare you a little and you hate dolls, go for this one. And those are all the books that I read in October. Tell me if you've read them as well, and recommend me some more creepy books, but not like horrifying books, but just kind of creepy. And no, for anyone that knows, and I have told about how much I hate Coraline, the creepy doll book has not convinced me to read Coraline, and nothing will convince me, because that will terrorize me. I am traumatized from the movie, okay? So it's just not happening. But anyway, I would say this month was fairly successful, even though Zusak really fucking let me down. Like, bro, I'm so mad. Anyway, before I literally die of anger or whatever, I am gonna wrap this up. Wrap up the wrap up. Wow. You know how I said I was delusional? I think I still am. So yeah, I'm gonna go wrap this up, edit this, upload it, because I've been slacking this week. Nano is like killing me, but I'm loving it. So sorry, you guys are kind of lower in priority this month, but I'm trying. I know I'm trash, but it's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are like, well, we're fluctuating around 950 subscribers, which blows my mind. See you guys in my next video. But why am I like this? Bye.